Warning. Warning. Welcome to At Your Own Risk.
Hey guys, Derek here from IG360, and today is AYOR episode number 5 on this new channel. I don't know why I'm saying it still, it's not kind of new anymore, it's kind of old now since I've been doing 5 episodes, but anyway, today's story is all going to be about Apple. I haven't done an Apple story, I think, on this channel before. I think I talked about it a little bit here and there, just like mentioning a few different things about other topics, but I really haven't talked about Apple themselves, the company itself on this channel before, which is something I want to do. There's a lot of different things that on the AYOR show that I want to cover. Apple's definitely be one of them as it gets closer to some of their bigger events like WWDC and whatever events they have in the fall to announce new stuff then. But for right now, I thought I might talk about just one piece of news that came out this week to tell you guys about and just give a little bit of my opinion. So the article that I'm reading here is coming from Apple themselves. The article is titled Apple increases the iPad Retina Display to 128 gigabytes. Yes, it's finally happened. The one thing I always wanted to happen with an iPad has finally happened, and they increased it from they doubled the 64 gig to 128 gig, which I think is amazing. I really do like that. I'm surprised they didn't make its way over to the iPad Mini. I think they're saving that for the iPad Mini 2, which I'm not really surprised for. But I really do think when the iPad Mini comes with the Retina Display sometime in the fall of this year, I really do think we're going to see a 128 gigabyte option for the iPad Mini. Now, the one thing I always liked with the iPad that is so small, it replaced the laptop. Now the iPad can officially, in my eyes, for some people, replace a laptop with this new 128 gigabyte option. I know a lot of people now that are using their iPad instead of a laptop. They use it for iMovie and GarageBand, and sometimes they're drawing stuff using a sketchbook app, and they can just store tons and tons of files on those, along with any apps or music they want to put on there, and have plenty of space to store. I think this is a great move for Apple. But anyway, the one thing I am a little curious about is why didn't they save it to the iPad 5? It kind of makes sense because they really are milking on the iPad 2 design, the iPad 2, the iPad 3 design, and just saying it's new again, but it really is the same old thing. Just one time it would be the A5X chip, now the A6, now this 120 gigabyte. So I'm kind of waiting for until I buy an iPad with the 120 gigabytes in storage to happen with the brand new redesigned iPad 5. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. But if you need an iPad right now and you want to definitely replace your laptop, definitely look into the 120 gigabyte option. I know it's pricey. I think it starts at like $7.99. But trust me, guys, it is definitely going to be worth it. You'll be able to replace your laptop and do a lot more and be able to carry it with you pretty much anywhere and have enough space to go with it. So, yeah, now what else am I going to share here from the story? They also said in the press release here that they sold more than 120 million iPads, and customers just love them. Says Phil Schiller, as it always does. It says 85% of the Fortune 500 companies are deploying and testing iPads in their workplaces, which I think is pretty cool. That's also important in schools too. I've seen a lot of schools over the last like 2-3 years deploy or test the iPad, and they really do like them over having laptops for reasons. So they boot quicker, they're always on, and they always have a fast connection to the internet. That's what a lot of schools want to do, and a lot of them buy netbooks or like low power notebooks with like Atom CPUs, Intel Atom CPUs. But the iPad just works so much better, and it's always on, and it's instant practically for those types of people. Also, they have a thing for AutoCAD in here. A lot of people are using AutoCAD on their iPad so they can do designing. And they even say in here they can use their camera to take a picture or something, and they can design around that, which I think is pretty cool as well. A lot of people also are using the new 120 gigabyte iPad, or are going to be using the 120 gigabyte iPad for creating music files, big music files. Now to me, something like music editing or production like I'm doing right here, doing a voiceover with Final Cut Pro, I still want to do on the computer because I have a lot more precision than I do with my finger, and you really can't hook up a mouse to an iPad and use a cursor. So some things like music editing and video editing that I'm doing right now, I still want on a computer. But I think a lot of people who are just throwing pictures in a slideshow or creating a movie with iMovie and just not worrying how the quality comes out are not looking to precision edit, like cut clips out, do effects here, time the effects just right. Don't really care about that stuff. And besides, with the iPad, most of the things you can do are just a tap, and you can reset the parameters. But if you want really high quality precision editing, I think you still need a mouse. But that's just for me. So yeah, going on to that right now. It says it's still the 4th generation iPad, which includes the 9.7-inch Retina Display, the Apple A6 chip, the HD FaceTime camera, iOS 6.1, and LTE for those that want it. The availability, the new 128GB version will be available starting Tuesday, February 5th, with the suggested retail price in black and white for $7.99 in the US, with the Wi-Fi model being $9.29, which I think is too much. If you definitely want LTE, I definitely recommend just hooking up your hotspot, like I do. Saves you a lot of money and gets the same speed. So that is basically all about the 120GB iPad. Like I said, I'm really happy for it. It's probably the one feature that I always wanted. Sorry guys, my microphone cut, but the one thing I always wanted in my iPad was the 120GB storage, and I think it's just only a matter of time before we see the actual iPad mini 2 with the Retina Display, and there's a 120GB option for the iPad mini owners out there. If I had to choose just something that I can talk about for the last couple of minutes of this voiceover, since this voiceover is not going to be the entire episode, the one thing I do want to say is that what iPad I like more over the other, for doing schoolwork or anything like that, if I need to play something on a desk, like I'm sitting here right now, if I need to look at something, I like the full iPad because it's much easier to put on the desk. But if I'm watching movies or want to sit on the couch and browse the internet, the iPad mini works just as good. So anyway guys, that was this episode of AYOR. Hope you guys enjoyed. All the links are down in the description as always. And I will see you guys in the next video.
I see him! We need to think of ways to strike the bastards. We are not powerless women.
The liberation of Roma has begun.
Grazie, the Borgia Bastardi. But you fight, and you are a remarkable warrior. Could you teach me your art? Bring me a suit of that perverted armor.
You are not wearing one.
What?
It is part of the plan. You surrender to us, we are bringing you to the Baron.
Ah, yes. Then what?
Your men attack on my signal.
Bene! Go change into costume. Dawn approaches. Get into formation!
advance! We must engage!
There he is! Lajou!
Can you not fight?
You won't get away this time!
We must follow the patrol route. We cannot deviate or the Duke's men will know something is wrong.
The Baron thinks Cesare will allow the French to rule Italy. He's so blinded by the trickle of royalty in his blood that lazy inbred can't see the battlefield. Whatever the French may think, Cesare intends to be king. More troops ahead.